welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. This is going to be a pick a pile style reading for career. As you can see, I have 5 decks here, which I will use to create 3 piles for you to choose from. Here we go. Okay, so we have our 3 piles. As you can see, I'm going to add a crystal to each one. This is going to be a career reading for April 11 and 12. Okay, so let's see which crystals we're going to assign here. Okay, Pyrite, Shungite, and Labradorite. We have pile number 1 with Labradorite, the pile number 2 with Shungite, and pile number 3 with Pyrite. Okay, so if you selected pile number 1, this is your reading. You received the Labradorite stone, which I will interpret for you after. Let's get your cards laid out. Pile 1. This is a career reading for April the 11th and 12th. Okay, pile number 1. I can see right now by looking at this that in your career you are currently looking at options. You are considering options. There seems to be a lot of options, and it's time for you to make a choice. It looks like you are going to be doing something different for your career coming up, and you are having a little bit of worry about it. You're worried about the shadow side of yourself making the wrong choice. You do have lots of options. You received the 7 of Cups. So there are lots of options ahead of you, but you seem to be concerned that you may make the wrong one. Now, what the guidance here for you is that, you have to be willing to release some of that doubt you're having. You need to be able to understand that you are actually co-creating your path forward. And so if you're very concerned about your shadow self, where all of the self-limiting beliefs exist, and where all of your insecurities, lack of confidence, the doubts you hold, those fears you have deep down inside about yourself, maybe not being worthy, maybe not deserving, maybe you're feeling like the opportunities that you have to choose from are all so great, but you're really wondering which one to choose and based on what. You might be wondering in your mind what the right choice is and having a hard time making that decision. Now, there is here another oracle message for you to consider. It says, the hottest love has the coolest end. So with respect to I keep calling it a love reading. With respect to a career reading, that tells me that, combined with this shadow card, that maybe you're in a position where there are so many options for you to choose from right now or to consider in your path forward, and you're wondering how to make this decision. Should you go for the thing that provides the most prosperity, or should you go after the thing that really speaks to your passion? How should you make this choice forward about what to choose as your path for career? It's very interesting. There are cards here also that suggest a willingness to release some of these, I think, shadow voices, and also release the attachment to the outcome in the sense of, an element of trusting yourself needs to be added here, that, the opportunity that seems maybe on the surface as the one to choose. Perhaps that is the one that you're responding to because of some sort of ego-driven wound that hasn't been healed. Maybe I really feel like it's a self-limiting belief. And so that might cause you to pick something that seems initially attractive, but it might not be the choice for you in the end. Now, what I can see here is that you definitely are on the path of manifesting whatever opportunities you want, which is also evident in the Seven of Cups, that there are lots of options to choose from, and you may be becoming overwhelmed by that. Now, the guidance here for you, pile one, is that, the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. I was just reading from this card for you. So consciousness. So the idea here for career choice for you, pile one, is that you need to let go of this shadow self making the decision and tap into your higher self. Your higher self knows the difference between responding to shadow urges, shadow impulses, like I said, self-limiting beliefs, self-harming thought. Watch how you're talking to yourself right now. Watch what stories you're telling yourself, because it matters. Right? It really does matter. And you are co-creating your reality right now. So it's important that you're telling yourself a story that includes tapping into your consciousness in order to make a choice, and being willing to release some of these negative elements that you may be saying to yourself about the future. It could be projected anxiety about the future. You could be projecting a lot of worry about things, but you seem to have some options in front of you, and it looks like Spirit really wants you to take advantage of some of these opportunities and make a choice. But being willing to release some of these shadow elements that could be holding you back from really tapping into your overall consciousness about the decision to make here. Now, the Labradorite stone is the one that came up for you. And I'm hoping you'll be able to see some of the colors in this beautiful stone. Now, this is a stone of transformation, okay? The Labradorite prepares our body and soul for ascension. It's very mystical and protective stone that raises our consciousness, okay? Which is what you need right now. You need to raise your consciousness, right? And it deflects unwanted energies from the aura, which is ideal for you. I'll just put it there, because of this shadow element that keeps haunting you when it comes to this career move. Now, the Labradorite crystal does banish fear, insecurity, and any psychic debris of previous disappointments, right? Shadow. So this is actually a perfect stone selection for you, pile one. It's time to let go. You have to be willing to release some of that old shadow element, and the Labradorite crystal would be a good one for you right now. Thank you, pile number one. If this reading has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading to understand in a little bit more detail, then please do contact me. My email is in the description box below. Okay, if you selected pile number two, this is your reading. Now, you received the Shungite stone, which I will interpret for you at the end of your reading. Let's get your cards laid out. Now, this is a career reading for April the 11th and 12th. Okay, so let's see here, pile number two. Okay, so what I can see here for you, pile number two, is that something new is coming in for you when it comes to career. It could be something that involves you being promoted to a higher position. You could be receiving more authority in your in the role that you're in, and maybe the new position is a promotion where you will have more authority. There is some harmony in this new position, and you're aware of it. It might be something that you have been working towards. This could be a position that you applied for because you really, really want it. And, you know on some level that this could really change things for you, and it could bring in a lot of harmony for you. The interesting thing here, pile 2, is that it does seem that you're going to have to let go of something in order for this new position to really come into fruition for you. And you're really being asked to rely on the feminine energy in order to be flowy. We want to go with the flow here. There are some things that you really feel you know to be true. Okay, so you might have to let go of some of that rigidity, because true harmony is coming in. You are going to be receiving some kind of harmonious offer in career that, you know, is really going to bring you to a new level of authority. However, you are really being asked here to tap into that feminine energy when it comes time to let go of something. It's very interesting because you've got the Cups, which is very feminine energy, Page of Cups there, and you also received the Yin Oracle card. So with all of this together, the message I'm getting for you here, pile 2, is that whatever it is that you've been working on is going to come about. But there is something that you're going to have to let go of in order for the whole picture to come into focus for you. Okay, but it does seem that when you do that, when you are able to let go, and when you're able to really tap into that feminine creative energy and come into your authority with flow, you're going to have to be flexible. You're going to have to let go of some of these things you think you really know potentially. There may be some things that you know, and you need to really think about your intuition now, not just the things that you know, but the things that you sense, because there is a harmonious opportunity coming in here for you, which, you know, is represented by these 2 cards. But some belief or some perception or some idea of authority perhaps needs to be looked at here. You're being asked to use your intuition, okay? In this position of authority, perhaps the thing you're going to need to let go of is this idea that it's, you know, only one way, that water flows only in one direction. Well, the feminine energy is here to tell you that's not the case. Water flows everywhere, and the masculine energy sort of drives where it goes. And so for you right now, you're being asked to sort of let go, I think, of the steering wheel a bit. It's not your job to figure out how it happens. Your job is to just dream up the possibility that you want in your life. It's your job to figure out what the what is. What's your what? The universe will figure out the how. So you need to use your intuition and your feminine energy here, the divine feminine energy here, to create an idea of where you want to be. And it seems like you can get there if you let go of trying to define exactly how it looks. You know, the authority card here could also be talking about your perception of authority. Perhaps that is what you need to look at. Maybe you know intuitively something different than how you are behaving in an authoritative role. There could be something here asking you to consider being less rigid in your definition of authority. You know, your intuition is being called in here. You're being asked to use your intuition and to let go of something so that a new opportunity, a new harmonious opportunity can come in where your definition of authority or who you see yourself as in authority will be, something you need to reflect on. You may have to let go of some previously held beliefs about who you are as someone in authority. You may have to check out your leadership skills. You're being asked to go with the flow, though, not too rigid here. We want to be open. We want to be using that. Think of it as water flowing. Let the water flow where it wants, Now, the crystal you received for this pile number 2, is Shungite. So Shungite is a black, non-crystalline mineraloid that is 98% carbon. Okay, this piece of Shungite is actually meant to be put in like your water jug that you leave in the fridge maybe, so that your water always has, some element of Shungite in it. Now, what does Shungite do? Well, it assists in evolving spiritually. It restores emotional balance. And it is a powerful protective stone. Really shields you from negative energies of all kinds. It also helps in the idea of being grounded. Right? So, if you're stepping into a position of authority, you need to ground. You need to be solid in who you are and grounded down into the earth. And, you need some emotional balance. You can't go into a position of authority if you don't have emotional balance. You need to have an idea that you're in control of your emotions, which is also all about that water cup energy that's coming in here all over the place for you. And when you do let go, that has to imply that you are willing to let go, right? Which implies flow. Again, bringing us back to that emotional balance. So pile 2, if you don't have a piece of Shungite, you should go get a piece. It's very helpful. You can get some for your water or for your home. Okay, pile 2, if this reading has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading to clarify any of this, please do contact me. My email is in the description box below. Okay, if you selected pile number 3, this is your reading. You received the Pyrite for your crystal. I will interpret that for you after. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is a career reading for April the 11th and 12th. Okay, pile 3, let's have a look here. Wow. Okay, pile 3, you are being asked to tap into your intuition here. There's something you need to be paying attention to. You're in a position financially now, work-wise, where you're in a state where everything is really balanced. You've got give and receive in balance. You're prosperous, you're doing well. It's not your initial success. You're sort of like in that, I would say, mid-level success in your career, where you're not at the top and you're not at the beginning. You're in the middle. You've sort of, you're stable. There's equal give and receive. You're benefiting and you're working hard, but you're also benefiting from your hard work. Okay, but Spirit is asking you to tap into your intuition a little bit here, because there is something within you. This is interesting. You want to go back to something. Pile 3, you are not fully at peace with this position you're in. You are in a position that does give you a balance of give and take. Okay, so you're in a job or in a career where you're at the mid-level of, in terms of, I don't know if you were going to rank it in terms of success. I don't like doing that, but you're in the middle, right? You're not at the top, you're not at the bottom, you're right in the middle. You're in a good, comfortable zone, actually, because your efforts and your what you gain from this job is in balance right now. But something on your mind, oh boy, you really have a motivation here to return to something. You're thinking about something that didn't really get to finish itself. It's almost like, it almost seems like you might have been doing something earlier in your life. Like, for some reason, I'm imagining you as in your 40s or 50s. Okay, maybe 40s or late 30s, actually. Anyway, you're not a fresh graduate, but maybe there was something that you had always wanted to do when you were a fresh graduate, and you went a different way because you thought, it'll be more prosperous to go this way. And so you did. But there is something scratching at your mind that's sort of like it's removing the peace of mind, right, from your mood. You don't have peace of mind right now. And Spirit's asking you to go within twice. It's saying go within to find your peace and listen. This listen card is all about your intuition. It's asking you to listen to something that your higher self is trying to say to you about an unfinished symphony that you cannot stop thinking about. And you keep telling yourself, man, I wish I had done that. Man, I really wish I had gone for that when I was, had the opportunity, right? It might not be about fresh graduate or mid-level career. It could be just that, it's something that you always think about. I wish I had gone for it. I wonder what would have happened if I had just gone for it. Maybe it was something that seemed like a pipe dream at the time, right? Like maybe at the time you were like, I don't have a hope in hell. This isn't realistic. That's actually the energy I'm getting, is that you told yourself that it wasn't realistic in the past. And so you moved on into something that is prosperous. You're doing well for yourself, but you're not at peace in your head because your intuition keeps screaming at you about this unfinished situation that you never really saw through. Now, the Merry Motive card that you received, the other oracle card, is really about knowing your motives and understanding what drives you to meet your goals. It's the wisdom behind your intention. So it looks here to me that your initial intention was prosperity. You were thinking, how am I going to provide for myself in the future? I need to pick a career that's going to be stable and prosperous, and that, maybe you left out of the equation and I'll enjoy doing it, right? That's possible. And so you've never really been at peace with it, but lately there's a lot of energy coming at you saying, hey, I got something to say about this. And you're really being asked to look at whatever your intentions are, okay? And in the back of your mind, you can't stop thinking about something that you left undone in the past. And so, Spirit's really asking you here to look at your intentions once again here. Is the intention still the same? Is your intention just to get by and survive? And yes, be prosperous in a very equal give and take scenario, but are you at peace with it? Are you doing something that you're at peace with? And the other oracle card you received talks about love, in that, are you doing something where love supports your journey? Or are you being conscious? It says romantic love here. So in the respect of a career reading, I'm going to call this self-love. This is a romantic love that you have for yourself that is saying to you, we're not at peace with this anymore. So it's almost like your motive is in question, because perhaps it's not a motive that is like, maybe you're not supporting your journey forward on your career with a consideration of love and peace of mind. And the peace of mind also, talks about this intuition, right? That intuition has something to say about this. There may have been the decision to make about this career was initially about something else, right? Like you were thinking initially that I just need to be prosperous. I need to survive. I'm going to take that job because it's a good job and I'll get paid well and I'll be able to do X, Y, and Z for myself. And maybe one day I'll return to whatever this was. But you didn't. And now you want to. Now you're really thinking about this unfinished symphony replacing whatever it was that you're doing, because you don't have peace of mind right now. You're in your head about it too logically. Maybe you need to start thinking with your intuitive mind, and also think about it from the perspective of love. And what are my motives? What are my motives right now? Are my motives to love myself, or to just keep doing the same thing that's serving me, but I am not honoring myself because something is reminding me about this thing that from the past that I didn't get to finish, or maybe it didn't get off the ground, or maybe I didn't, it wasn't the right time. And it's back to talk to you again. Your intuition wants you to remember this unfinished symphony, and to think about your motives in choosing a career. What are your motives when you're choosing a career? What are your intentions when you choose a career? There is an element here where the universe is asking you to trust and to, check your motives, but at the same time, sort of realize that the universe will always provide an outcome that is a perfect match for your intention. So if you don't know what your intentions are, that can be rather tricky. Because if your intention is just to make money, right? That will be a different outcome than if your intention is to really have peace of mind by listening to our intuition and using self-love as our guide. And for some reason, that path is bringing you back to an unfinished symphony of some kind. So that's really telling me, pile 3, that there may be something that, is really trying to get your attention here, because you need to look at your motives about career choice and whether or not you're still in the same place with the decision you made, or is there another outcome that your intuition is asking you to pursue. It's a very interesting, very, very interesting reading. Now, the crystal you received for your reading is Pyrite, which is also known as Fool's Gold. So that is a fitting stone for you, because it really does help you balance your instinct with intuition and your creativity with analysis, because you really need to do that right now. Right now, Spirit is saying to you, you've been making decisions logically, and there may have been something we missed out on as a result. I mean, we're prosperous. We're not complaining. We're very grateful. But what was our motive in choosing this path in the first place? That is what you're being asked to examine. What was your motive for choosing this path? Because there is something in the past here that suggests a more suitable fit for you, and that it will bring peace of mind, and that you're being guided to look at this anyway. Your intuition is talking to you about this experience and wants you to reconsider it. So when you look at receiving Pyrite with that, it's very interesting, because this really does help sort of, it's like a spark, right? Like, think about that. Like, it's like a spark. It's a spark. It helps catalyze things. It helps catalyze things. So, and it brings balance to things. So, and it also helps sort of shut out the negative. So, when you're thinking about what to do in your career situation, there may be a more loving outcome that your intuition wants you to consider. Okay? And you know what? It could have something to do with romantic love. Maybe there was a business opportunity with a partner, and you keep thinking about it, and that when you went off on your own, you were prosperous, like you had, that was your motive, but now you keep thinking about this unfinished symphony. Interesting reading, pile 3. If this has resonated for you and you would like more clarity on any of this, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me today for this very interesting pick a pile style reading for career for April 11 and 12. I hope that it's been helpful. If you would like a personal reading to clarify any of the messages you received today, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is in the description below, and I am still running my spring offering, which is 60 minutes for $55 for your first reading with me. Okay, everyone, take care, and we'll see you again very soon for another reading.